morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome all of you here to the Beth Tzedec Men's Club Scholarship Breakfast. My name is Mark Lapidus. I'm involved with the Beth Tzedec Men's Club. I'm the president. And we have our executive members here and a lot of our guests, and we're very thrilled and excited to have such a nice crowd here this morning. It's one of our main activities during the year is the scholarship program. Today, though, we have a special award that we're making, and that is to Rabbi Roy Tanenbaum. And he has been our chaplain, for the want of a better word, for our clergy, who has worked with us closely over the years. And we want to pay tribute to his contribution to the Men's Club. And I'd like to introduce Rabbi Baruch Friedman.
As many of you know, Rav Roy is someone who comes into the synagogue with a smile, and at the end of the day, many, many, many hours later, he also leaves with a smile. As some of you know, Rav Roy is a man who is full of ideas, lots of creativity, someone who's exceptionally hardworking, and always willing to take on something else, so that if something is happening and there's a need for a rabbi, I'll go. There are very few times when he's been asked to do anything that he says, I can't. Usually it's hineni. Here I am. I'll do whatever is needed, necessary, desired. And I do it, I would say he does this out of a genuine love for people, out of a real sense of wanting the synagogue to be a welcoming place of prayer and assembly, and because he wants people to feel, whether they're here or in the home, that they are at home. And he and Loretta have opened their house to many, many people, both individuals that you would recognize and many others who you wouldn't. He's willing and able to reach out and to open himself up to others because he appreciates the challenges that people face, having faced his very own. He and Loretta have meant a great deal to Beth Tzedec. He's solid, reliable, and loyal. And that's true whether he's teaching Torah, organizing chesed activities, helping to improve the Bar Bat Mitzvah program, working and developing the adult Bat Mitzvah program, creating the Shabbat Fair, engaging the synagogue in social justice mishpat activities, fundraising, interfaith programs, about which you'll hear a little bit later, or a special love of his, the Little Minyan. He's always willing to help in other areas of shul life, whether it's the school, the library, the museum, or one of his favorites, the Men's Club. Now, the Men's Club walkway is where you come into the synagogue. And in a way, it's like the midbar. It's the transition from the parking lot into the synagogue. And when I think of Rav Roy, I think of him as helping people through times of transitions, helping them to find a way forward. Walking forward, I see him always looking for the next challenge. Walking into shul, I see him dreaming about what might make Beth Tzedec great. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was said to have had 5 great students. And the 5th, Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, was attributed the title of Ma'ayan HaMitgaber, a fountain, a well that constantly brings forth fresh water. The Mishnah asks, what's the way one should go through life? And I want to share with you what the rabbis teach. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai received the teaching of Torah from Hillel and Shammai. And he had 5 students. Rabbi Eleazar ben Horkanos, Rabbi Yoshua ben Hananiah, Rabbi Yossi HaKohen, Rabbi Shimon ben Netanel, and Rabbi Elazar ben Arach. And he used to articulate what were the characteristics of each one. Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkanos was like a cistern that doesn't lose even a drop of water. Rabbi Yoshua ben Hananiah, happy is the woman who gave birth to him. Rabbi Yossi HaKohen was pious. Rabbi Shimon ben Netanel feared sin. And Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, as I indicated, was Ma'ayan HaMitkaber, an unceasing flow of fresh water. And then he said, I think that Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, he contains all of the attributes of all of the others. And Roy, I think that in so many ways you contain all of the good attributes that we would like to find in our rabbis. And most of all, as Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said, you have a lev tov. You have a good heart, which includes within it a good eye, being a good friend, being a good neighbor, being someone who initiates, ro'eh tanolad. Most of all, you have that lev tov, that good heart, that enables you to do so much for so many. And we are all so grateful to you. Thank you. So I want to put a project out for the men's club, and that is the following. As you know, we have across from the women's room the pictures of the people who've been the senior rabbis. What we don't have are the pictures of individuals who have been the senior chazanim, and we don't have pictures of individuals who have been rabbis here but not senior rabbis. And I think it's about time that we recognized all of those individuals. And maybe in the school area as well, had pictures of the individuals who've served as directors of education and now as directors of the Institute of Jewish Family Life, because we remember them and we want to remember them. So I put that out as a challenge to the men's club, perhaps, to get that moving as a big project for the future. You have to find a place, you got to talk to the house committee and all of that, and then you've got to get the pictures. But I think it would be something very important for the history of our congregation, and also to recognize the good work that's been done by so many, including and especially Rabbi Tanenbaum. Thank you.
As you can see, Larry is holding here our honor roll plaque, which is in the walk, the men's club walk that the rabbi was referring to as you come in from the parking lot. And we've added Rabbi Roy Tanenbaum's name to this plaque. Now I'd like to call on Jerry Grammer for a presentation to the rabbi.
Good morning, ladies. I'm here today on behalf of the Neighborhood Interfaith Group, of which I am one of the co-chairs. The Neighborhood Interfaith Group has existed for many, many years, and each year has had an annual dinner as one of its projects. This was the 22nd a couple of weeks ago. It was we consider a very historic occasion. It is the first time in the history of the Interfaith Group that we had a Muslim imam as our guest speaker. And it was a very interesting evening. Rabbi Roy has been sort of our spiritual, advisor. Whenever we have our meetings of the Neighborhood Interfaith Group, the Executive Committee, they're usually held here at Beth Tzedec, and no matter how busy he is during that evening, and I can assure you he's usually very busy doing something, he always has a moment to stop by with a friendly smile, a few words of encouragement, and certainly has made a great impression on every one of the members of this group. He's also a passionate and dedicated salesman for the annual dinner. I know he's come around and buttonholed many people and said, you gotta come. And we thank him for that as well. There are many more things I can say about Rabbi Roy, but believe me, we in that group, Christians and Jews, because it's made up of 7 synagogues and 8 churches, and now we also have a school, a Bishop Strong School is one of our members, and we've expanded greatly over the years, and we think it's due to the fact that we have made such a great impression upon the community as a whole. Rabbi, on behalf of the Interfaith Group, with our love and our great affection for what you have done for us, we'd like you to accept this picture that is of the last year's, the 21st annual dinner, of which you're sitting right in the middle with your regular and standard beautiful smile. Rabbi?
Also, we have a couple of other presentations to the rabbi. One is a plaque that says, Beth Tzedec Men's Club Rabbi Roy Tanenbaum has been included in our honor roll for meritorious service, and it's 2008. And one other thing, you have these bookends that says, Rabbi Roy Tanenbaum in development and promotion of interfaith dialogue. On the one side, and on the other side it says Beth Tzedec Men's Club. And for a rabbi it's great because there should be a lot of stuff to go in between.
If you see this library, you'll know that. Just breathe.
First of all, I want to thank Joe for adding a little sparkle to my demeanor. Thank you very much, and thank you especially to the Men's Club and to the leadership and to the board of the Men's Club that I have an opportunity to work with so frequently and with whom I have become so close. This is a very peculiar honor, being on the honor roll, because for those of you that know the history of the honor roll, up until 3 years ago you had to be deceased. So I'm glad that I didn't get this honor any sooner. It's sort of like, being part of a Dead Poet Society and being the dead poet. In our Torah reading for this week starting, we read the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly benediction. And unlike almost the whole of the Torah and almost all of our tradition and our Siddur and everything that we do, the Birkat Kohanim, Yivarechacha and Hashem v'yishmerecha, is written in the singular, to you. And almost everything else we do is written in the plural, we, as a community. And some of the commentators, especially the Hasidic commentators, have looked at this aspect of Torah and have said, look at this.
this you means the whole community together, absolutely together. And each one has a slightly different personality, and each individual has a slightly different goal. And yet, when you come to the men's club, there's a unanimity of direction, and the men's club is always working to see what it can do, not only to better the synagogue, but also to better the Jewish community, and the community at large is represented by the interfaith dinner that the men's club participates in so fully. So you can see that when Torah says you in the singular, it means the bond of all of us. And that truly is what men's club means to me. It means this bond that we share, and this unity of direction, and this sense of purpose that is ours. And I pray that we will continue to be able to work together in this same kind of unity. And I want to thank you for this privilege. We have people here today that are being honored because they're starting on their careers in Jewish life and Jewish public service in all different ways. They're beginning their study. And when you study in an area of Judaism, it's not to become wealthy in terms of possessions. And when it says, Yivarechacha Hashem v'yishmerecha, may the Lord bless you, may the Lord bless you with bountiful possessions, but may the Lord keep you from having your possessions possess you. And obviously, anybody who sets out in the direction of Jewish communal service has to have taken that into consideration. And I want to tell you that you will be blessed. And you will be blessed with something deeper and something far more valuable. You will be blessed with what we call sipuk nefesh, the satisfaction of the soul. The satisfaction that comes from being able to reach out to others and to bless them. And so I pray for all those who are being selected today and being given a hand in your future direction, that you will be able to not just receive the blessings, but you will also be able to bless our people by your demeanor, by your sever panim yafot, by your beautiful reaching out to others, and especially by your commitment to the Jewish community, and that you will find, as I have, a sense of sipuk nefesh and a sense of this unity that comes from knowing that the singular you is really all of us. Amen.